Gathered throng. Ladies and gentlemen, every conceivable coordinate in between. I'm your host, Jeffrey K. Horkins. You can't be trusted with water, can you, Kiko?
No, I didn't know that we started. So.
No, it's fine. This is the sort of thing that humanizes the participant. This is what the people crave.
Choking to death?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Could there be any? Could there be any?
To death more than humans.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, could there be any more human act?
This time somebody dies.
Yeah, exactly. On a very special episode of the AV Club. So, very quickly, because it's been a while since we got back, and also because I want to make sure that our gathered throng, our cyber throng, if you will, sort of understands what the stakes are whenever we throw dice into our trays. Let me just make sure for everyone's use a couple points of order. First, when I ask you for a skill, a roll, when you're going to be, interacting with something, you fucking roll. No, essentially, combine your stat and your skill. That's how we build up a stat pool in this game. We toss them in there. In this game, cruelty of cruelties, only sixes are successes. But if at first you don't succeed, it is okay. If the role you're doing is related to your pride, which is on your character sheet, like the thing that it's a part of your identity, you can get one automatic success, but you can also have succeeded a role and use your pride to be even more successful. Because the threshold of success is really important in this game. You're asking somebody a question or trying to get a sense of something. You get more questions to me, the more successes you have, right? So it's the threshold of success. It isn't just pass or fail. Certainly for narrative purposes, it's not either. You also have luck, right? So luck is correlated with how old you are. Older kids have more skills, but younger kids have more luck. You can use a luck point to re-roll the failed dice that were in your pool. So that's a handy one. Don't forget to use it. You can also push. That's like if you fuck up and it's really important and you want to succeed, you can push. And so that involves you just checking one of your conditions, right? So in this game, that would be upset, scared, exhausted, injured, broken, right? Each of those things, it's mostly for emotional texture, but each of those basically eats up some of your dice when you're trying to succeed at things.
Right.
Right.
And you can only use your pride once per game, right?
Once per game. Exactly right.
Got it.
Exactly right. You can't just be proud the whole time. It cometh before a fall.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so watch out for that. You can also help your friends succeed in this game. Generally speaking, the denouement, big excitement, is a massive type of skill challenge that everyone partakes in, and then in order to succeed, or in order for things to go the way that you want, I'll tell you how many successes you need, and that will provide sufficient terror for you to find what's best in yourselves and deliver an incredible experience for the viewer. So very, very quickly, though, as I said, before we start out, because we haven't played for a while, if you would please, starting at the end with Ms. Swallocks, just let the people at home know who you're bringing to the table today.
I am Patrick, and I am playing Betty Swallocks. She is 10 years old. She is extremely min-maxed towards stealing things. She's a foreign exchange student from England, and her best friend is a pig called Jeremy.
That's right.
That's it from me.
I'm playing Mick, who is a 14-year-old who is trying to become one of the greatest filmmakers of the century, but her problem is that she has a shoestring special effects budget.
Well, this is a classic. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing that a lot of filmmakers have had to deal with for sure.
Yeah. She's a spunky, short, pale girl who wears ripped jeans and has an oversized plaid button-up, and she has a field jacket stolen from the set of Apocalypse Now. So she's just all about capturing the best shots she possibly can.
I'm playing Temo. He is son of a migrant worker and a tinkerer. 14.
He's a 14 tinkerer, or is that his
Comma
stat?
14.
Yes, comma 14.
14 tinkerers.
So the team is ancient in this game.
14 tinkerers walk into a bar.
Yeah.
Snap.
Hi, I'm Dora. I'll be playing Ginger, or Snap for short, or as my nickname is Snap. I am the rocker archetype. She is very tall and lanky, long wavy red hair. She's got black eyeliner and always has a band tee on with her brother's army jacket. She's sort of like, I think of her a lot like Ringwald's character from Pretty in Pink, where she's just sort of like, she lives in a very bad neighborhood. She kind of grew up poor, and her parents aren't really there for her in a whole lot of ways. So,
Yeah. Now, Kimberly.
So my character's name is Kimberly. Specifically not Kim, it's Kimberly. She's the popular kid, and I have to talk about her with this inflection or else it just doesn't vibe. She's 14, and she is probably 5 foot even on a good day. And
Does it fluctuate?
it does.
Is she like an accordion?
She is a lot like, well, so here's the thing. Her pride is that she can get around anybody. She is very ambitious. She wants to make it big some way, somehow, and specifically through Broadway and musical theater and, who knows, fame. So she's the sort of person, she's a little tiny, petite brunette with gray eyes that turn into dinner plates and can become very intense when she wants something. So yes, her height does fluctuate depending on your perception of her. So yes, overwhelmingly self-possessed and kind of a nightmare human with theater affects.
Well, say no more. You could have just started with Theater Kid.
Should have.
Everyone
snap.
knows exactly what that means.
Some shade.
It's universal.
I'm trying to go for a specific subset of theater
The
kid.
fact that you know these fine, striations in theater kidness.
This is the code switching that happens when you then announce you're a theater kid. You have to provide. It's like providing your serial number as a prisoner of war. You just have to say, and this subset.
Exactly. But also, it's sort of like, that's how you know that we've enhanced Quadrant 1. Now we can really get into, like, what are the numbers on this? On this license plate. So we're going to start a little bit differently because things ended a little bit differently. Now, does anybody remember, again, for the folks at home, only one of you, don't all speak at the same time, what happened at the end of the last game? Because it was not good times.
it was not good times.
There was a weird confrontation in a field near the loop,
Indeed.
wherein we were led by the mailman. His Howl's Moving Castle of a RV finally got a chug-in for what seemed to be the first time in an eternity.
Indeed.
And he dragged his entire electric mayhem out into the middle of a field near the loop, where we had a communication with an AI that had either an AI that had taken on the aspects of his late daughter, or a ghost in the machine for real.
That's right. Is there anything important about this ghost?
In terms of relationship.
For anyone's, does this ghost love anyone?
This ghost turns out to have been a secret love of Kimberly's from theater camp. And there was a moment at the end.
What happened during this moment? Never mind. I'll tell you. She
Please
sang
just tell me.
a whole song.
It was beautiful.
It was just one verse.
No, it was exquisite. I mean, refer back to the... Please put a link below this, like back to the timestamp where Kimberly, which is to say Laura, said that she was... I don't mean to go so hard on you. It's only because I like you.
Just
and it's
please
because-
turn this off and go back.
Well, no.
Oh,
The
wait.
previous episode was great. Watch it now, and we will sit
Yeah, we'll
in
sit here and wait.
silence.
If you don't mind.
We should just
Wait for you to get back.
We'll run this feed live while you do that. We'll check our phones. No, it's my circle always. It's like Dan over at Two Beers that we worked on with Signing Bonus, right? Like, my circle involves a non-trivial, Pat Roth says, a non-trivial percentage of individuals for whom pretending to be other individuals is a non-trivial percent of their identity. Now, so knowing what happened last time, it's vitally important. One of the last things you saw was all the vans, all the trucks, maybe every truck and van, every black truck and van Although it's possible if you were to look close, there might have been the occasional gray. Maybe that's all that was available.
I do remember being shot at.
Yes.
Right.
There was a lot of that. And in fact, you saw the mailman take a couple and hit the ground. Although knowing the mailman, certainly knowing him as long as you have, this is precisely the sort of thing that he might expect. This outcome is more or less, I mean, he's worked his entire life to arrive at that specific juncture.
Some say that he's finally
reached. This is his apotheosis now. So he, you see that is more or less the last thing that you remember. The new piece of information that you have, obviously, and it's a very exciting time for any student. It's a new year at high school. The AV club, obviously the portables, the levy for the expansion of the school did not pass. And so that means that a lot of people are attending school in what is functionally corrugated steel boxes that have been installed where the teachers' parking used to be. The teachers now park over near the gym, and we all know what a problem that can be. Certainly when it's time to leave at the end of the day. They are not primary spaces. Let's be clear about that. And they're not marked specifically, which means that they are even now just parked in the gapped tooth spaces available from the students. It's a gigantic problem. You will no doubt see it in the newsletter. And Mr. Miller is seated at the computer, and he is almost entirely still. And there are pronounced, you would say, more than you recall, more than you remember, gray stripes have sort of begun to swim along the sides of his dark hair. And you feel like maybe even while you were watching him, these sort of gray partitions threaten to overtake the rest of his youth. You don't know if his tryst that he has with another teacher is going to survive if the hair color is a problem. But he is sort of looking down at the keyboard, but his hands are in his lap. And it has been, you would say, 8 minutes.
So this is the beginning of the club meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just at our desks?
Yeah, you're just wherever you sit. So you know how it is. It's like whenever a photograph or whenever that still frame would be taken for a like a sitcom or whatever, it's like everybody's sort of in their maximally characterful pose. I mean, some people might be draped over a partition. Some are sitting. No doubt, the technical manuals that you have read more than once, but it never hurts to brush up. That is the situation. It's essentially like the DVD cover for. Oh, you know what it isn't? No, it isn't the DVD cover. It's that shot that's in the upper left-hand corner on the back of the DVD box.
Yes.
A scene that we're pretty sure doesn't even happen in the movie.
Oh, no. This is absolutely 100% staged, but everyone, you'll be happy to know, Kimberly, that you look marvelous.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So about minute 4, I decided that this would be some pretty good content, and I wanted to get more of like a time-lapse thing, but I thought, no, let's go more dramatic. So I very slowly take out my camera at minute 4, and I just very slowly zoom in on his face. Just very slowly for about a couple minutes.
Always collecting that B-roll.
You would have to... You think that you'd have to be closer than you are to even detect his breath. He is essentially like a piñata. He's just sort of still and empty, seated at the computer that was so difficult to secure
Does your camera have sufficient zoom, or are you moving forward?
I would.
You are the,
I think
you're
I'm
the tracking
moving forward.
shot.
I am the tracking shot. And then, like, I realized I really need to get up in there. So I kind of go to the side of the desk and I kneel down and I get even closer. And at this point, I'm like 2 feet from him.
Yeah.
And is this piece called just obsolescence?
I think it's the new abstract art piece of the century.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a low, but audible here inside the close walls of the portable. He says, "Kids, what have you learned in this class?" And he has not looked up. Who have you learned to be?
We've learned to be audio-visual.
I don't want Betty's answer first. I need another answer so that I can be ready for Betty's answer.
I understand.
He laughs.
Turn the page.
He just
manual.
he chuckles to himself a couple times,
Mirthlessly.
and it's just like the rattle of a truck, like going too fast over a speed bump. It is the sound of a broken person.
I respond with, well, I think we can all say that things are pretty different from this time last year.
Kimberly is super not paying attention. She's just looking out the window.
Yeah, he says, "Well, so what do you think it is, Betty?"
We've learned to be good friends, stick up for each other. I've learned elements of audio, of visuals, and forge strong bonds that would prohibit, for instance, narking or in any way being a grass. That would obviously go without saying that such a strong group would certainly have those kinds of principles. I have learned all of your names, and I will hold them in my heart forever.
He says, I hope you're not the only one that learned those things.
I mean, I already knew not to be a grass.
He says, you're going to need that. You're going to need a lot of that for what comes next. And he sort of stands up, and there's a little squeak as the feet, God only knows how long this chair has been in service. There's a squeak as the tiny feet of the chair are forced back by his rising from it. And he says, I can't do this anymore. And I'm not going to do it. And then he looks around the room at certain specific, like he's looking for a specific constellation. And he says, do you hear me? I'm not going to fucking do it anymore.
Do what?
He says, you need to get out. Every one of you need to get out. Betty, and as he says this, the windows around the portable shatter inward, and he is rocked from multiple angles by staccato bursts of gunfire. He slumps forward and slides off of the computer, which, Timo, you recognize instantaneously is just a shell. It's a prop. And as he falls over and slumps off, he reaches out for your pant leg and begins to tug. I'm doing it in the real world. Begins to tug on the pant leg, and Kiko doesn't like it. He doesn't like to be touched. But I'm trying to communicate something important. You smell it first, Snap. There is a almost like a burning, like a tangy burning sensation in your nostrils. And it looks like the room has begun to fill with a kind of haze.
I'm going to yell, get out,
Yeah.
and cover your mouth, right? Because like that's all we can do at this
Yeah, I
point.
just swing the door open and
Kimberly has not moved, despite the glass shattering pretty close to her. It's just not moved. Has just been staring, and like you're not really sure what she needs, but is just
Right now?
Yeah, pretty much is just like there's shards of glass in her hair, and she's just not responding.
That is a fucking incredible image.
Okay.
Did you notice it at all?
Nah,
comes
there's a
back
hole
and
off
like
here.
grabs you by the arm and like
Yeah,
tends to pull you
and she
out.
staggers out, just sort of like, all right,
Does
fine.
he got his death on camera?
Yeah.
It's a snuff film now.
Yeah.
That's on your conscience. You live with that forever.
Okay, so you're watching it through this.
Shit.
You're almost certainly seeing it through that, as opposed to the rest of your friends. You see it captured on the Super 8.
Was there blood? Like,
Yes.
It's extremely graphic.
He's
It
very peck and paw right now.
Yeah. And the table in the center that you've seen hundreds of times over the year is functionally speaking like the seat of the icon of his teaching status and stature in the center of the room is completely cast out over the floor.
why would someone do this to Mr. Miller? I look and see if I can see anyone that shot. Like,
Yeah, I was
where
going to
it came
say.
from?
So you see faces outside the window. You see like glints off of what looks like goggles. But even as you sort of catch them out there, you're starting to lose. And this goes for every person at the table except me. I still have it. You are starting to lose like sensation in the tips of your fingers. And even standing is difficult. But we're just going to go around at this moment, and just so that we can render this, because of course this is taking place over the course of like 6 seconds, right?
Right.
But I want everybody. I just want to know what every individual person is doing in this moment for the movie, right? So I'm going to start with Kimberly, who I think has already delivered something really legitimately scary. If there's anything you want to embroider, we'll move over to Sneezy E.
I'm sorry, I think I was about, but I'm now distracted by whatever this appellation is. Oh, I love it.
It's
This
the
Appalachian
Welcome to the
Mountain.
Appalachian Trail.
Oh,
That's me.
yeah. Shit. No, please come back to me. I'm literally rocked by what you said.
The stun is good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
honestly, like it's perfect. Here, so Snap. So you called out. You've looked out and you've seen this. I mean, I'll deliver any other information you want. So it's like you're seeing these like multiple sort of circular glints,
Right.
almost like dancing in a strange forest outside these windows.
Right. So I think Ginger, like the beginning of class was like full, like barely even sitting in her chair, like so low. And then as soon as everything happened, she shot up and swung the door open, grabbed Kimberly, pulled her outside, saw these glints, and said, wait, so I see it through the window? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
exactly. Yeah, you haven't gotten out yet.
Okay. So I want to go outside and I just want to take a closer look real quick before I
So you go over and
Miller.
you go to open the door.
Yes.
And it is absolutely frozen. Even the handle doesn't turn. That isn't to say that you can't try to get out.
Right.
I'm just letting you know
That
what
it's-
the state of play is for this diorama
Yeah.
that this scene is occurring in.
I'll Oh my god. Okay, so I stayed. I guess. So I try to open the door and I can't, and so I like ram it one more time, and if it still doesn't open, I'm gonna try to like
Force it.
force it. yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's roll dice.
Cool. So this is a body, and I have nothing.
Yeah. This
Okay,
is
bad.
this is body force.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I fail.
Okay. So which is frankly incredible. You throw your full weight against it,
Right.
and it's as though it is not a door.
Okay. I say, Timo, help me. Help me open the door.
Nice. Just pass it right along.
That's right.
So bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's glass on the book, like on the plastic covers that hold the pages of the manual.
So going back to the shooting.
Yes.
You mentioned that I noticed that the computer is
False.
basically a dummy.
Dummy. It's like the computer you would see like at Sears
Oh, yeah.
on the pretend desk.
So they used to do that, yeah.
Are any other, stuff happening? Like obviously there's going to be shelves and stuff in the back of the class. Is there anything else that looks amiss or weird, like it's staged?
So as this is happening, so as you are looking around, there is a reel-to-reel that is not fed. I mean, it does not pass scrutiny, right?
Okay. So you said that the windows blew in. Where are the windows exactly?
They're sort of
relation to
situated. There's again in the portables. The levy didn't pass.
Yeah.
But there's as we described before, there is like there's windows sort of in the upper middle of the walls on each side, and then there's two windows on the side with the door and 3 on the other side.
Okay, so every wall has a window
Yes.
in it. Okay. And you said there's glinting.
There is.
How far can we judge distance where that glinting is in relation to the windows?
So if you look out and see that, you can also, it's like as you look out in the moments after, you think you can hear other sounds outside, mechanical hissing, things of that kind, but they might be perhaps 15, 20 feet outside and moving quickly.
Okay, so it would be fair to say that the windows are not a recommended option for egress.
No, it looks, this is, every aspect of this is
We're effed.
choreographed.
Okay. So everything's happening. I always have Betty out of the corner of my eye just
Yeah, because you have to.
because I have to. Someone has to. So what is Betty doing?
So Betty has thrown herself onto Jeremy the pig and is operating as a human shield as best she can. She's also burst into tears.
Okay.
For the first time.
Full protection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full pig protection.
And she's just saying,
You got the pig protection plan.
she's trying to say, without sounding like she's crying, don't let them take Jeremy.
Right.
And
So this is
she
the
may be
first-
considering where she's going to hide him.
Yeah.
So this is the first time Betty has actually been a little girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're seeing it now.
The artifice of Betty's persona has dropped.
Okay. Obviously, controlled burns are a thing in working on the fields. So
Yeah.
I take my
Right up.
to my nose, and I make my way towards Betty to sort of push her towards the door, and then I attempt to help Snap
I love it. Go ahead and hit it.
with another hit. So my stats for body are good. So is this force?
Yeah, this is body force.
So I'm going to need 8 dice.
Oof.
Wow.
Wow, that is impressive.
Well, it's working super hard all the time. I
like
suspect.
lion.
Yeah.
Two successes.
So it bangs through on the hinge and like violently shifts the wall forward. You think that one more good push would probably allow an exit.
Okay. Can I coordinate with Snap to get one big final push?
Or would we need another person?
Do we need another person?
I think at this point it's got to be passed down the chain just for the purposes of the
Gotcha.
of how it's being filmed, right? So who would be more appropriate than Mick?
Yeah, so
Say,
rewind.
Mick, drop the damn camera and help us.
Rewind a little bit, and so I'm crouched next to Mr. Miller.
No, exactly, and he's just sort of mutely moving his mouth.
Yeah, and then he gets shot, and all of this is on camera, and as he falls, I stare at him, and then that's when the smoke comes in.
Yeah.
And then I yell, "Okay, everyone, get out!" But I'm still looking through the camera, and I'm going to approach his body.
Jesus.
And
Macabre.
Dedication.
Yeah, I was just gonna say commit, I guess.
well, like, and I'm not necessarily getting it for the shot. It's just more of like that's my
Yeah,
reaction
you're
in
just
shock.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of move him a little bit just because that's my way of making sure.
There's
and-
a high staccato wheeze as you try to shift him on the ground.
I say,
Sorry, Keegan.
is there anything we can do to help you?
He is not. That's not the sort of conversation you can.
Yeah,
have
I mean
right?
that's all I ask.
No, I
'cause
love
that's-
it though. I think it's
I don't
exactly
know what else
right.
to say. And is there anything that he would always have on his person that was like kind of near and dear to him that we could always tell that he would like fiddle with or anything?
Oh, absolutely. He definitely in his left pocket has a small solar calculator.
Okay. I'm going to reach into his pocket and grab that, and I'll just say like,
I'm going to rob a dead man.
Yeah.
well, I'm going to say like,
The body.
And I'm gonna sell it.
yeah, I'm
he's
going to
proud
I'm
of
going to
you.
go to a pawn shop,
Next scene.
and
Weirdo, so.
and I'm going to say to him, you have no idea how much you've meant to me, and at that point, I forget to turn off the camera, so I think
Yeah.
just whatever I do is just gonna be all over the place, like a shaky cam kind of sort of thing.
I love it.
And my first question is: are there any closets in this room?
Yeah. There's a sort of general purpose closet in the back that includes a few extra cassette tapes, like blank cassette tapes.
Okay.
A lot of blank VHS, a few full VHS.
Okay.
There's a sort of like dog's breakfast of
Okay.
stuff in a back.
Would there be anything in there that we could like help pry the door open?
Interesting. Well, here, so let's open it up. Open it up. You swing that handle down, pull it out as you have so many times before. Let's just look in here and see if there's anything that might work.
Solid tripod.
Yeah, solid tripod. There are also something that might work, you think, in the fraction of a second that you have to look, is that there's actually many of these things are contained within very thin metal bookends that you think that you could produce at a moment's notice and use as a wedge.
Okay. So I'm just going to grab basically whatever I can in those things, and I'm going to run over and I'm going to say, and this is right after you've attempted to burst through it again. I'm going to say, let's wedge this open with whatever we possibly can. So I'm going to throw all of the equipment to you guys, and we can start working on that.
Absolutely. So you toss that across the room, and they grab it and sort of jam it into where the lock is, fish it in there, and work it in good. Ms. Swallix, there is the moment of alarm and the sharp sensation of the moment that you're in. bodily protecting this creature. That moment is gone, and it is replaced by a calculating animal instinct to leave.
Okay. So I'm going to try and, how big has Jeremy gotten by this point?
This is the sort of pig that you can keep legally as a pet around here, even in Spokane.
Yeah.
If you're trying to say that you would like to use your pet as a battering ram,
No.
I won't allow it.
Well, now that's what I'm saying.
That's a great idea.
This is a pig, not a hog.
Here, what I want to make sure that you understand is that Jeremy does not have his own character sheet.
Okay.
So he doesn't constitute an extra turn for you, but he could be used as a tool.
Betty is trying to move him towards the door,
Easily.
and she shouts for Andrew, which is the name of her blink dog. And she doesn't know if Andrew will be able to tell her distress, but she just starts screaming Andrew, and she tries to help open the door if she can.
I love it.
Now
So-
she's let herself in and out of this locked room
Yeah,
on countless occasions.
yeah, exactly. So, what is your, how are you trying to do it? You let me know, and then we'll know what you need to.
I would say she's just trying to. She's probably trying to open the lock.
Exactly.
The problem is the lock, right?
Exactly. So this is actually going to be more of a.
I would could possibly call this force.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what's your pool for that? Let's figure out if
That
that's
would
the
be
right
8
call.
dice.
Force is a lot of dice, dude. I mean, that's 8 dice is about as good as you're going to get. And what's your sneak?
My sneak is 5.
Yeah. I think at this point, with the jar loosened, as they say, I think that's your optimal
Okay.
play. So in this moment, you make a call. So roll those dice, and I'll tell you what happens next.
Can you hand me an
Can you hand me
enormous
a
number
bucket
of dice?
full of dice?
Oh, I love these big chunguses.
They're so fun.
1.
It's an interesting way to roll.
Yeah, I know,
I love
right?
it so much.
Yay!
Oh,
Even more excitement than usual.
Hey! Oh,
Right. Well,
she gets a success.
exactly. So that success, coupled with the tireless, dutiful efforts of your friends, is sufficient to push through. And it's clear, just in the substrate between this door and the side, this may not even be. You have an intimate awareness of the mechanism of this door. This is not the door.
So this is,
This
we're
is,
not in a real place.
No, this looks for all the world like a set.
Now, can Betty remember how she got here?
No, but we'll go into this. So you push your way out, and what you see outside is almost perfect darkness. There's the glints that I suggested before of the of a goggle. You can hear like a hiss coming from their faces, and as you get outside, you hear the sound like a slight pressure wave against the eardrum that you associate with Andrew's arrival. And when that happens, this wall of terror moving toward the door gets split in 2 groups. One to contend with this new force, and a deeply diminished force coming for Betty. We will now change scenes. We're going to go to the next scene. Are you ready?
no, but
I think the only thing Kimberly does when we get out is just stare at the darkness. And
I was just going to say, and so now the door has opened.
the door is open.
And it's like at some level, there's just that human fear that there's just nothing but darkness outside. And so maybe Kimberly turns her head slowly toward the door as it opens.
Yeah.
And it's just as you secretly suspected.
Yeah.
There is nothing.
Well, and all she does is sort of look at it and kind of do like a weird, and say, blackout.
I like the idea that the final shot is like a zoom out into the darkness, but you can just see the door and all of our faces just peering out of the door.
Well, this is very tasteful filmmaking, Nick, of course. But yeah, it should be like that. So you'll look out and there's like a wry smile, blackout, and then as the camera pulls away, like as though like a tracked shot.
Exactly.
This is as the AV portable sort of recedes into the darkness. It's the only lit up thing in an entire hangar of darkness. Next scene. Are we ready? Temo, you hear, and obviously it's unfortunate. I have bad news for you. Your alarm is going off, and it's not going to stop itself. You know yourself better than this. The alarm is across the room, on a shelf. There is a book on top of it that must be removed before you can turn it off. You're someone who needs sleep. You're a growing boy, but you know yourself better than to allow a common alarm to support you in this way.
All right. Well, that was neat. Definitely shake my head, and then get up and turn off the alarm.
So when you wake up and try to, you rouse yourself and try to move, there is a sharp pain in your, like in the crease of your left elbow, and it is not your alarm at all. You are in a room absolutely dominated by sterile, almost blue light. And the beeping is a range of machines attached to yourself, attached to Snap, attached to Mick, attached to Kimberly. And you are the only one in here that is awake.
What's the size of the room, roughly?
The size of the room is approximately maybe 30 by 50. You think that this room could accommodate a lot more.
Okay.
But it is not purpose-built in any way for this.
So are we, how are we positioned? Are we upright?
Rows. Just like rows seated up sort of at a 45-degree angle with unpleasantly long intravenous needles hanging from bags. And you note that your bag is empty.
And I assume everyone else's bags appear to be okay filled with
Plump. Too much, if anything.
Okay, is anything recognizable? I mean, does this look like a regular, hospital room? Or
Yeah, it looks as though it is a hospital room.
Okay,
Like
so this doesn't
cold
look-
light. You spent time, obviously after your father got hurt.
Yeah.
You spent time in a room very much like this, except at that time people came in with clipboards and were kind. One of them even knew Spanish,
Okay.
which was nice.
What am I dressed in?
You were dressed in an off-white smock.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay. All right. So what are my bindings? What do those look like?
You appear to be bound by this drug, which has
so
run out.
I'm not.
You
I'm
are not.
Okay. Good enough. I start by taking out the IV.
It is, as I suggested before, unpleasantly long.
Yuck.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's my fear, and so
You're having a hard
so now
time.
everyone has to live in my mind. No, but the beeping is just sort of like echoing and bouncing around the room.
Does removing this IV give me a condition?
Let's say that this has actually made you. Which one do you want, brother? You It can't be broken because you only get
Yeah.
broken after the rest, and it's
Okay.
not a true injury. But I think upset or scared are probably reasonable
Okay.
for this.
I will say.
I mean, I'm upset. I'm a real
I'm not
person.
even I'm not even there.
I will say upset then.
Absolutely.
So who's closest to me?
For your purposes, your side of the room has. Let's just do it exactly like the table,
Okay.
just for our purpose. Now you are closest to the far wall, where a bank of cinematically ordained technology, even now, sort of tweets and chirps in its way.
Do I
There's a range
recognize
of lights.
anything that could be remotely, visually, look similar to a camera positioned anywhere in this room?
You think that there is almost certainly.
Some sort of surveillance.
You would be shocked as hell if there weren't cameras in here, but they are not visible to you.
Okay. Probably should have done that check before I tried to.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. What you're seeing on this opposite, in this bank of technology, is radically unlike anything you've seen before. You think about the type of shit that Mr. Miller, obviously, God rest his soul, was excited about. You've never seen anything like this. How thin, how compact, the keyboard. There is a mouse snaking out of the side of the box on a little pad designed to ease its movement. Like this is ridiculous. This is science fiction.
Yes, as much as that would probably attract Temo on a normal day, it really seems like the first thing that he would do would try to free everybody first before investigating, which, as a kid may not be the correct
Yeah.
tactical solution, but that's what I'm going to do. So, understandably, removing these IVs is super not great. So I'm just going to do that for them, and
Just go through and start pulling them out.
yeah, just start pulling them out. It's very yucky.
As you get out, as you pull, so you're gonna pull the closest one.
Closest one.
So you
Nick.
pull Mick's. You pull the needle out, and it takes, from your perspective at that time, it takes approximately 10,000 years.
Yeah, this is fucked up.
I love this is legitimate hell.
This is the content.
And then you start, and then as you do that, the blue sterile light every 3 to 4 seconds is interspersed with a red flash
Okay.
that then returns back. And you start to hear the computer in the back of the room begins to chirp even more audibly
Okay.
with intensity. There are 2 Altec lensing speakers. It has a subwoofer. It doesn't have a subwoofer. They didn't spend that.
CD-ROM drive that has a tray.
No, it has the cup holder.
How long does it take for Mick to come around?
You pull it, and she hasn't. It's not instantaneous by any means.
All right. Well, sort of change of plans then, I guess, because it sounds like the alarms are going off. So probably
We're all counting on you.
I'll probably do Betty last.
Yeah.
Are you doing Betty last or Patrick last?
Why can't it be both?
Honestly, I go Betty first. I do Betty first. She's gonna clamber around and fuck shit up.
Steal all equipment.
It is absolutely vital. I never said that Betty's in this room.
Oh shit.
That is true.
I never once said that.
I noticed that and then forgot.
Betty's not in this room.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. That's not this kind of movie.
Well,
This movie has hijinks.
then that makes my job much easier. I will wait for Mick to come around and go investigate the
Okay.
equipment.
So, when you come to Mick, at first you sort of feel like there's a shadowed rim around your awareness that you're out of sorts enough to feel like is a stylistic choice. Like as you start to look around, you just think you're filming. But then the realization that you are not in fact filming, that you are in fact looking at a room you've never been in, with people that you know, but under conditions that you don't remember entering. That is the moment that you have against this bed.
Okay. Do I see Timo pretty quickly?
Yeah, Timo is up.
Okay.
Timo is actually, Timo is in the back of you can see that he's like, you can sort of hear the slap of his bare feet against the tile floor as he heads to the back of the room.
So I look over and I see the two of you laying there, and I look back to Timo and say, and I'm like kind of slurred. So I say,
That's
Timo,
awesome.
what's going on? Where are we?
I don't know yet, but I need to turn off this alarm.
Okay, should I stay here?
As soon as you're ready, wake them up.
Okay. So I think I'm going to try to get up, but I think I'm still so groggy because I really haven't given myself any time to guess like reconfigure my brain.
And these beds, it should be said, are designed for the convenience of the people who change these bags.
So you're high.
You are high up.
Okay, so I'm gonna, I guess,
You have to kick your little hobbit legs off this thing, and then, functionally speaking, flow down.
Oh my god.
and it's not that graceful at all.
yeah.
So instead,
Just go. Please, give me a body roll.
okay, this is not going to be good.
No, but it's better.
You got four.
Is it going to be a move?
No, just body.
Just body.
Just the stat.
Dang.
Any
Okay.
penalty for?
No. I'm not giving her a skill.
Whose
That's
side
the
are you
thing.
on?
I'm not giving her a
Nah,
skill.
I am donezo.
So you slide off, and then hit your forehead against the side of Timo's bed.
Why my forehead, Jerry?
And then it doesn't. The wheels are clearly locked, so it is not giving at all. You hit your head hard on it.
No.
I realize now why you made
right
us do
back
this
out.
survey about what our fears were.
Well, I'm a mess. I'm passed out, bleeding on the floor.
You get
Nick
back.
is dead.
You get back,
Concussions are no joke, you guys.
and then it's just like the screen that you see is just suffused with an array of like three-dimensional multicolored pipes just manufacturing themselves over and over again until they fill up the screen.
Yeah.
And then it returns and just continues to cycle through this.
But does it ever hit the corner? But does it ever?
It's never the right colors.
I press the space bar.
You press the space bar and a password dialog comes up. And the user is already in. There's a forward slash, and it says MCCA21.
Does that have any significance to Timo whatsoever?
Yeah. Do you want to rack your brain for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This would probably be a right now under these conditions.
Yeah.
Let's say that it is mind comprehend.
That's not great.
Just because you're in such a mess right now,
Yeah. So,
and you want to also try to figure out the password.
not my strong suit. This is only 2 dice.
Whoa.
That's amazing. But one of them's going to be a 6, Kiko.
Watch, you're gonna snake eyes this.
Both of them are going to be 6s.
Hey, bada, 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 bada.
Is there anything on the desk? Is there any post-it notes with anything written on it, scribblings,
Oh, for
any sort of documentation.
Was this user
lying
a
around.
moron?
Yes.
There's a password right there.
Are you trying to do the password? Or are you trying to figure out what MCCA 21 is? 'Cause these are two separate things.
Yes, obviously if the password's written down, that would
Yeah.
be pretty obvious, but it seems like it'd be better called trying to figure out what MCAA, what that means.
Sure.
Based on the stuff lying
Is there a
on the
mug
desk.
or a paperweight?
Yeah, exactly. Password. I hate Monday. No, let's just do the MCCA first.
Okay. I'm just trying to see if there's any way for me to boost this roll by if there's anything lying.
Oh, I know what you're trying to do.
Okay. Yeah.
It's more fun to have you
And I
roll
won't
two
allow
dice.
it.
Yeah, it's more fun to have you roll 2 dice.
Oh, yes!
Shit, yes.
You know that in the days before, the loop became such a fixture in popular culture and in the local industry, local economy, you know that it was called the magnetocircular channel amplifier.
Is this X-Man?
Sorry,
This
that's
is
me
the
providing your
inner monologue.
Exactly. That's
It was.
yeah.
It was.
Tammo just goes.
the Magneto.
I'm
What?
psychic now.
Yeah.
The
Magnetocircular
circular
channel amplifier. Sort of before Johnny Ive or whatever came
Yeah.
in to put their stamp on it. Before the Atari Eidolon game system, there was the MCCA
Okay. And the username is MCCA
21.
21. Does that help me at all with the password? Because I know what
Yeah. So, I mean, no. That doesn't.
yeah.
And even if it did, there's apparently at least 21 distinct
Oh, okay.
user IDs. Even if you had one of the passwords, there's no guarantee.
Right.
So, but just tell me what it looks like on your face. Like, here's this screen.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have the screen. We have to have the screen where Temo's face is like over the password screen, right?
Yeah. And so there's recognition and the username,
Yeah.
the abbreviation means something. And then, so it's just completely still and it's just eyes going back and forth like this. Just, that's how Temo thinks.
Yeah. Darting back and forth.
So Temo does remember that the mailman was involved in some shit.
Yes. He was.
As his eyes move back and forth to the edges of the monitor, he takes a better look at the equipment and sees if he recognizes any mechanisms that are familiar to him
Absolutely. Well, it's
from the radio array on top of the...
interesting. You think so? If you look closely at these, arrays, they're clearly mounted on steel racks. Each individual piece of technology is like a uniquely, separately bolted chunk. Anywhere from a full foot, to a quarter of that. The racks themselves aren't a contiguous piece of technology, but are in fact made up of a variety of banks. And you know that you have seen at least one of these in his trailer, right? But as you look over to it, you can also, it's like as you're looking through it, it's clear that some of these are sort of nestled within the rest of the Blinken Lights, cinema technology experience. There are dark squares placed at not fully regular intervals. It looks random, but they're almost certainly a part of this system. And then on each of these, as you're looking over, on each of these, they start to blink on one at a time. And it is an image of you at the computers looking at the screens. And as you sort of groggily come to, and you look back and see Temo, you can see that Temos have begun to appear all over this wall. And that is the moment that the door bursts open and a sequence of brutal black-clad figures come in to secure the room. Scene change. Mick, your head is absolutely pounding. But when it occurs to you to be conscious of your surroundings, you are seated upright on one side of a stainless steel table.
Okay. Are my hands bound or anything?
No, in fact, they are cuffed both to each other.
Okay.
And there is a loop of chain underneath them that connects at some invisible point beneath the table.
I imagine I'm pretty groggy still.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be groggy anyway.
Yeah.
But
this concussion
something came loose in your head. Like it was, the contact was profound.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of pull my hands up towards me.
Yeah, you can hear and feel the chain rubbing up against a ring or something underneath it, and then you can get it about this far.
Okay. And I haven't even looked up yet, and then I'm just gonna lower my hands and look up to the room around me and kind of sway my head around to see if I can if there's anyone there.
Absolutely. It's mostly nondescript. There is a kind of screen, like a projection screen that takes up one wall. It's like a theater screen, but small and sort of pulled down, and it's just awaiting signal. On the right side of the table is a box that you recognize. What would you have written on the side of the box you keep your film canisters in? Because it's going to be something.
So my anchor is my neighbor, who is James H. Brown III, who was an AD to Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would have put property of James H. Brown IV. And I would have always looked at that and thinking like, yeah, I'm the next one.
Yeah, it says that on the side of this box, like a deeply inedible bouquet. They're sort of poking up from the top. It's like the film version of a cornucopia. The door, there's a click as the door opens behind you, and you look back and you can see a door along with a what looks like a 3x4 silver mirror built directly into the wall.
Okay.
And the man comes in. He's dressed in a simple, sharp, gray suit. You think that he has chosen this tie to appeal to the youth. It has a sequence of vertical stripes.
All I'm going to say is, you think it's fun to bully kids? Because I don't. And then I'm going to chuckle to myself. I'm going to go, I'm so out of it.
Got him.
Yeah. He says, Michelle, Mick,
thank you.
I'm a bit of a filmmaker myself.
Are you just?
Yeah,
and I'm going to kind of fiddle around with mine.
And then projected, he is now around the front of the table, and his hands are placed on it. But the projection catches both him and the screen behind him. And it is your own house.
I say, are my parents okay?
He's like, I like this part. and you can see a window slide open, and you can see a girl creep out of a window with a pig under her arm, and then sort of crawl away out of frame.
What have you done with her?
Before the film strip, before the film reaches its conclusion, you can see steam on a bathroom window and a silhouette behind it. And that's when he chooses to shut it down. And he says, listen, I have a lot of other movies.
Are
You might
you
like to
some
see.
kind of creep? Because I don't. Why are you doing this?
Creep would be a compliment, Mick. For me, creep would be a compliment. He says, I want you to tell me about your dog, Mick. Don't you have a dog? Don't you have a special dog?
No, it's not my dog.
No? Whose dog is it?
It's my sister's dog.
You don't have a sister. So let's talk about... This is the best movie of all time. he says, yeah, so you don't have one. What you do have is a Soviet bioweapon. Are these words too big for you, Mick?
She's a person. Don't objectify her.
He says,
Yay.
he says, so you're not familiar at all with Operation Werewolf. You never secreted away. You never sequestered any Russian.
Oh, you're going to tell me there's an Operation Vampire and an Operation Zombie as well? Very funny.
How long do you think you've been here, Mick?
Why don't you just tell me? Stop asking questions.
I like it better this way. He picks up his folder, opens the door, and leaves. Next scene.
God damn it.
Ginger Snap. Ginger Snap.
Yeah.
You are in a small, dim room, and you are seated across from Harvey.
Okay.
Harvey is handcuffed at the wrists, and these handcuffs are connected to the chair that he is sitting in. His head is completely shaven, and his left eye is black.
Okay. I say, Harvey, is that you? Harvey? What are you doing here? Actually, what am I doing here?
Yeah. He says, why do they think you know stuff, Snap?
Like, what kind of stuff?
Why do they think that you know stuff?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
He's like, I don't know any stuff, and they think that I know the stuff that you know, and I don't know any of it.
Well, I don't know I don't know how they got, I don't know anything.
His neck involuntarily sort of twitches hard to the left. And then he's still.
Is his eyes open?
Yeah.
Oh, she just stops.
He's like, they're asking me about some kid named Wyatt. I don't know anybody named Wyatt. Do you know anybody named Wyatt? Who the fuck is Wyatt?
I'm trying to remember. Do I know someone named Wyatt?
Yeah, it's even better if you don't, because it makes everything that's happening worse. If you actually just forgot, that's better.
I'm trying to remember. And she says, I don't think I know. Sounds familiar. It sounds maybe someone I know. I haven't done anything, Harvey. I just, I got involved at this AV club, and we've been going on we've been doing these things, but it's not bad, we're just kids.
He sort of breathes out through his teeth like something somewhere hurts. And he begins to sort of like hum and sing under his breath. And then he just starts to whisper over and over, I feel stupid. Next scene. Who do I hurt next?
Laura,
She's a fucking wreck, man.
Laura, you hurt Laura next, and me never.
Laura was just hurt real bad.
Oh, it's fine. Listen, Kimberly needs taken down a peg.
All right. This is going to
She
be
wished
good.
someone dead last time.
Yeah. Temo.
I get hurt again?
Yeah, no, I have two for you here.
I'm so sorry.
You are speaking to a man over a silver table, and it's almost as though you wake up on your side of the table, and he is already like on his side. He is already sort of flipping through a folder.
So this is like a interrogation room.
Yeah,
style
exactly,
stuff. So
exactly.
am I
You have
shackled or
yeah, exactly,
or-
100%. There's no.
Are we still like just hospital gown thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Your feet, like the floor is like ice. And he closes his folder and he says, Temo, so good news. We have sent your father back to Mexico. And we can do the same for you. But you do need to answer our questions, and you need to answer them truthfully. La verdad. Right? Do you get it?
How do I know he's safe?
Well, I can set up a call with him. You can talk to him yourself. But that's not happening until I get what I want. It's like, what can you tell me about James Fraser? What can you tell me about the work that he did in your neighborhood? What can you tell me about the vehicle he drove to the loop?
I need to know that my dad's safe.
Did James Fraser ever have any contact with a Russian agency? These are the most simple questions I can ask. It doesn't get easier from here, Temo.
No habla inglés.
Damn! Fuck, dude!
He stands up away from the chair and he smiles as though this is the best thing that's happened to him all day.
Oh no.
Next scene. Betty.
Okay.
No, honestly, this is better. Betty, you
actually have something they want.
you have been living in this facility now for 4 years. Like a rat.
Okay.
And you know where to go. And you know where not to go. And you know what to do to be safe. You also know that there has been a lot of construction recently, and you have avoided the sections of the ductwork that go into the new place. But you can feel in the duct itself the cool air with a different scent. That is the result of the two buildings, the old building and the new building, being joined together.
So what have I learned about this facility through my exploration? Do I know?
You have learned a lot. Ask specific questions, and I'll give you specific.
Do I know
answers.
where my friends are being kept?
You have not seen them. You have a. So how does Betty keep track of the map?
I imagine she probably has a little hideout somewhere where she is scratching maps onto the wall.
So it's like a portal guy type situation.
And she's every time that she uncovers something new, she adds something to this map that is scratched on.
Exactly. And so it's just your luck that the corner of your map sort of abuts where the new place would be. Mm-hmm. So you have to, whenever you discover something new in the other building, you're going to have to write it on the other side of the crack, which sucks.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Nightmare. Again,
Suboptimal.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, the form where we filled out our fears, and one of mine was having to extend a map across a corner.
Yeah.
I'm now realizing I should have been less candid.
Shouldn't have been so specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how am I? Do I have a means of escape? Do I know a way out of here? And I haven't gone through it, or is there no escape?
There is no way that you know of in the facility that you are in to get out.
Okay.
And your fantasy of all fantasies, and you pray that crisp freshness from the new conduit constitutes some kind of outside access.
Okay. So during these 4 years, I imagine I've possibly had the opportunity to eavesdrop.
Thoroughly. I've written down several conversations you might have heard.
Okay. What kind of conversations have I heard about the other children in the AV club?
Well, you've actually heard one about yourself as well, which will no doubt delight Betty.
Yes.
They say, well, has there been any luck? Finding the foreign national, Miss St. Clair?
St. Walker.
St. Walker. It says, you understand that we're sitting on an international incident here that could hatch at any time. And the voice that you hear in response says, we're so close.
Do I believe they're so close?
You're not even sure they believe they're so close.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that.
So what have I heard about the other people? What kind of?
Well, you hear a lot of talk about subjects, and at some point, I think that Betty might dream that these are references.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of subjects
Yeah.
that are mentioned. There's a lot of numbers. The numbers go way past 20.
What have I heard them say about Operation Werewolf?
Simply that they have secured the source and some of the progeny.
Okay, so I suspect that means Andrew. Does Andrew ever come when I call?
No, but let's say that happens a lot.
Yeah, I probably try that that's probably the first thing I do every time. Is
There may be a mark
to come and get me.
somewhere to indicate.
Yeah. What about Jeremy?
Jeremy is not mentioned.
Okay, but he's not with me.
No,
He's not a part of it.
no.
I don't have
Jeremy did not make it.
Jesus.
Rest in peace.
So have I? Yeah. Did they?
But your pig didn't make it.
Yeah. Did I notice like an increase in bacon in the cafeteria?
Oh, Jesus.
Or sausages?
A sharp increase.
Yeah.
No, it's almost, they have served nothing but bacon.
But my idea is too dark.
No, no.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what she does at this point. I think she probably feels pretty hopeless, but she's going to try and investigate whatever part of the map that she's unfamiliar with. She's
Yeah,
going to go
the Here Be
towards
Dragons
there.
portion.
Yeah, at this point, it's like I'm like Tom Hanks in Castaway, where there's a certain point where it's like either you die here or you build a raft.
Right.
And it's, in Betty's mind, at a certain point, it's better to be caught than it is to keep living the way she is.
Exactly. And it's there's a lot of. I mean, it's been almost all snacks and nutritive fitness bars. It's a lot of brand.
Yeah.
It's a lot of brand. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Fiber intake
So
is
this way.
can I still fit through the ducts? Am I getting too big?
No, because these are massive. Like the conduits that enable this facility to operate are substantial.
Okay. So I'm gonna crawl through the ducts. I'm gonna try and find the
new area.
I'm gonna go to the new area. I'm gonna explore it cautiously. But I'm actually not anticipating that anyone, like if they were going to think to go through these ducts, they would have done it by now, probably.
Exactly. So you in your mind, you've got the sort of traced out map, and you sort of track your way into the new area, the new realm, and
It's very Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah.
it's vital. It's the most important film of all time. I guess it's a good book too. I haven't read it. And as you find your way through the new area, you think that there is, in fact, you think that some part of this is fresh. It's not recycled. It's not subterranean. Like it's like
I can feel air.
it smells like rain,
Yeah.
right?
So
You don't think that's happening in a device.
That's got to be
It's too much.
an incredible experience at this
It's
point.
too much.
Yeah.
It's like your first breath in 4 years.
Okay, so I'm going to go towards anything that smells like nature or like fresh air and see where I can. I'm still cautious. I don't think Betty knows how to be anything but cautious at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just an animal.
Yeah, trying
right?
to get towards that point, listening out for voices she hasn't heard before. I imagine she's got names for the staff in her head.
Yes.
Based on what their voices sound like and the kind of things they say.
Yeah. So it's almost like we're reaching like bat tier acoustic consciousness.
Yeah.
Right?
She can see
That's
physical
most
cones
that's
in
most
front of,
the
every
zones.
guard.
Yeah.
That's it's those
Detective
zones.
vision.
All eagle
Yeah.
vision all the time.
Yeah.
There's red dudes and yellow dudes.
I love it. So you are pushing into this new place, and you can look down into rooms and see that there are many subjects, and that this is the facility that they have joined. It just has very, very different parameters. The old one has almost is hyper utilitarian, like with a Cold War almost sensibility. The new place is like an evil office building,
Okay.
right? It's an evil office building where unconscious children work by sleeping all the time.
Do I recognize any of these children?
No, there are several rooms, and they seem to have different. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason in terms of how many are situated in a room.
They're not stacked up like
No,
cordwood?
not cordwood. It isn't that situation. And then, like I say, like sometimes there's 6, sometimes there's 3. You find after looking through perhaps 30 over 30 different subjects, you find a room where that has 4 people in it. You can see a bank of technology along the back wall, and they're older, but you recognize them.
I mean, Temo probably has a beard.
Yeah. Yeah, in the modern piece of this, and they may not even be conscious of it.
Okay.
They may not be aware, but because for them, that's just the information that comes in.
Yeah.
You're the only one who has seen the entire thing.
So in my eavesdropping, do I understand what the purpose of this facility is?
They have it is a level of paranoia about Soviet influence that is essentially the mortar of the walls here. They've connected dots between things that when you were there, you were present for these things. There's not one story. You know what I mean? That these things don't just like droop like ripe fruit from some, Red Scare monomyth. They have invented a universe where they can torment people for their own good.
Okay.
But they often talk about the incident and how lucky they are to be at the facility.
So I imagine that Betty's probably going to start to lose her shit when she sees the people down there that she recognizes and is immediately looking for a way to get down.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this, it is very, very sturdy, like what's possible from here to get out. Because these aren't like the thin loops that come around and like hold on some like thin, like aluminum. Like these conduits are synonymous with the building. And so getting this out, there would still be a substantial drop.
Yeah.
Even out of that scene change. Kimberly, you are having the dream again. The dream where you are in a hospital bed and wake up in a hospital bed and wake up in a hospital bed, a kind of fractal, perpetual horror that you can't find the door out of. But that's the normal. That's Kimberly's normal in this place. And there's no anchor, and it's impossible to orient yourself in time and space. It's so uniform. And that's part of the nightmare. After what feels like a millennium of this without any guiding light in it, you feel pressure. Like there's a new sensation in this hall of mirrors, and you feel pressure on your hand. Like you feel your hand like squeezed in the bed. And that gives you a moment of consciousness and clarity. And you can look out and see your friends, older, substantially older. You don't know exactly how much, but that pressure just keeps being applied to your right hand. It's gentle. It's not, there's no aggression. It's not cruel, but it is insistent.
So this is just one of these instances where I'm seeing them? They're not coming in repeatedly?
No. This is
like the first anchor we've had?
This is the anchor in this like necklace of time.
I don't know if I remember how to speak, because everything that my brain has been doing is what you would do if you were in a doctor's office for a very long time.
Yeah.
Waiting for something to happen. My brain is in song mode, so anything anyone says goes off
Just
for like
echoes?
Well, it's like when your parents are being really irritating and you say the word blue at the end of a sentence and they all start going blue on blue.
Yeah,
heartache on
yuck.
heartache.
This is even scarier.
So there's little moments that she's been thinking about going around and around and around and around. And so there's this series of repeating recursive thoughts where she thinks about being in the air and seeing the face again, remembering how it felt to be in the air, and sometimes it's just applause, sometimes it's just how applause feels, and sometimes it's how applause sounds.
Right.
And then sometimes
it's just like a macrame
Yeah.
of different sense memories.
And then sometimes she wakes up to the sound of a director saying, "And scene."
oh, horrible! This is my nightmare.
I have turned the tables. So
Yuck.
when she
For a roll.
right, can you endure? So when she feels this pressure, the first thing she says is, "Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, thank you." All is one.
And that's the only thing, and that the room is so angular that you can hear it come back a little bit. You
Yeah.
hear your own voice,
It's like
which is
backwash for words.
different
Yeah,
than you remember it,
it's too deep,
come back to you.
and it sounds scratchy.
It does. There's a croak element.
So when I'm looking at everyone, am I noticing expressions, and is there any doubt to who they are, or do I know that instinctively?
No, it's immediate.
Okay.
It's immediate.
What's everyone's expressions? Is everyone there?
There's no Betty.
There's no Betty.
There's no
Okay.
Betty. And then you feel another quick squeeze on your hand, and a woman's voice says, "It's time to go, Kim. We gotta go."
Are they separate from? Is the voice separate from who's there? No one's moving.
It doesn't echo.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't echo. And then in your left arm, you can see the needle, and it slides out by itself, and like snaps out to the end of its tether, and falls against the side, and then the tree itself is hurled to the ground.
You're high AF.
I sure am. I sure am, pal. So yeah.
So you see this,
So yeah. So,
Betty.
I see this happening.
You see this get dragged out, and you see her wake up and sort of like mumble to herself.
But
Yeah.
there's no one there.
There's no one there, and then you see this thing get flung to the ground.
Okay.
so what I say is 5. Thank you, 5. And yeah.
Kimberly.
And then I say thank you, 5.
Kimberly. And is she
Am I able to sit
conscious
up?
that anyone's doing
Yeah,
anything?
absolutely.
Okay, so I absolutely get up, and it just feels like that feeling that you have when you're is as though my entire body had been asleep in the sense that your leg goes to sleep. So it just feels a little bit weird and numb and knobbly, and I'm not entirely sure what this mech is that I'm piloting, but
Yeah.
I'm just going for it.
Exactly.
So I say 5, thank you, 5, and I start just trying to like gather my things because I need my stuff to go. And I don't know what my things
It's
are.
like you get a sheet and
Yeah.
a pillow, like a child.
Yeah, so I
in
just
a hallway.
I grab the sheet and I hold it, or like whatever their weird plush blanket is.
So you stood up and you grab your things?
I grab the sheet and I grab like I don't know whatever I can find on like a side desk or something.
Yeah, this is absolutely sterile.
And I just say I gotta turn off light, and I turn off the machine that was monitoring me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's a
All right, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and then I just say okay.
Kimberly, you're very high. I need
to calm down.
I need you to don't mess with anything.
Like, are you in the room or
I don't know. You just hear a voice like
You just
from
hear
a
it from
vent, like
above.
20 feet up in the air.
is the very solid voice saying anything to that voice or saying anything to me?
It says, it's time. It's time. I need to come with you. Can I come with you?
And I say, thank you, places. Yes.
The bed starts to sort of squeak slowly on its wheels at first. You hear the clang of the brake. At first, it just sort of pushes across the floor, and then it stops, and you hear the clang of the brake. And then the bed sort of rolls itself out into the center of the room, beneath the conduit grate.
Have I seen anything like this before?
You have not seen
inspiration.
anything like this
So I'm
before.
going to try and climb it down and land on that bed if I can.
So it takes some doing. You have a little bit of time here. You can basically back yourself up against one side of it and just kick the shit out of this thing. So the first thing that falls out is the grate, and it lands like on with one corner on the bed, and then it flips over and goes.
Oh shit.
And I just sort of laugh and I go,
one
dinner
chance.
time. And I just walk over because I'm gonna walk with the bed and walk alongside it like you do with the horse with one hand on it. And I'm just like, are we ready? Is it time?
Yeah. Other needles are drawn out of everyone else's arms. And after a few moments, though groggy, you begin to gather up your senses and awareness.
Do we have powers now?
It's Magneto.
Oh shit! Did Betty?
I put it out there.
Reveal.
Did Betty make it into the room?
Oh, yeah, exactly. But give me a body.
Okay.
Give me a body. Let's see.
Body force
Move.
or body move?
Move.
Okay, so I have 5 dice.
So you can't take that roll.
So I got 2 successes.
Yeah. So you want to land standing up?
Yeah.
Superhero pose.
Yeah, 3-point superhero landing. Hopefully relatively quiet. And then runs up to Kimberly and squeezes you so hard to make sure that you're really there.
You're taller than me now. This is what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, do we all look that much older?
Yes.
You were at least 5'2". This is important to me.
And squeezes you so hard that it literally hurts.
Yeah.
She
Like
doesn't
a pinch or like a squeeze?
No,
like a squeeze
compressed. Yeah.
because she wants to know that you're there.
Yeah. And so you squeeze, and like the longer you squeeze, like after about 10 seconds, the unmistakable scent of ozone starts to fill your nostrils, and you can see the hair on Kimberly's neck rise.
Okay. Does this scent mean anything to me in my sense memory of this
No,
place?
it's just something that strikes you as odd when hugging a person.
Okay. I don't know what ozone smells like in real life.
Yeah, lightning storm.
Oh, okay. So, Betty looks around the room. What does she see?
You see a screen, a variety of screens on the back wall, blinking lights. The new part of the facility has got things that you haven't seen in the
Okay.
other place. Like I say, the other place is very locked into a particular era of the military-industrial complex.
Is
And
everyone
with
else?
it, there was a certain security.
Yeah.
Now that they have junctioned the two buildings, these are definitely things that you haven't seen. Like the place that you were in, time didn't pass in the classic sense. You had to physically mark it to understand it was even happening.
Yeah.
Here, the computer screen and then a variety of individual screens sort of blink to life, and you can see text messages scrolling on them.
Okay. What do the messages say?
You can jump down from the bed, make your way back there.
So have you broken the hug yet?
Before I do that, like, so I'm going to break the hug. I'm
Yeah.
going to look around. Is anyone else waking up?
Everyone is waking
As
up.
you
Okay,
break
so-
the hug, I go, I suffer. In this weird voice.
I'm trying to help people get to their feet because I think we have to move. Making sure that no one like falls off the bed and beans themselves in the head, for instance.
Hey, do I have a pretty bad scar or anything?
Not now.
Really?
Really?
Been 4 years, so.
So I'm trying
Ginger is getting like slowly out of bed, and her like really skinny legs now are like shaking. And she uses the tree, the like rolly.
Yeah, are we
bit.
atrophied as hell?
Thin.
Okay.
I'd imagine very weak. So I use the tree thing as like a stabilizer, and I'm just gonna carry that with me.
Great.
And as I'm like shaking, I'm like making sure everyone gets out of bed. I'm like, what? Has anyone seen Harvey? Okay. Hi, everyone. And she's just like looking at Kimberly. It's just like,
I'm not making eye contact yet.
okay.
I'm still staring at Betty because that's a hug I've received, and I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot those. So you're
From
gonna
a,
have to get my
from
attention.
a stranger, as far as
Well,
you're
and-
concerned,
Yeah.
probably.
God, what does Betty look like now?
So she looks, her hair is completely overgrown. She now looks like Slash.
Oh my god.
During a guitar solo, you can barely see a
Yeah.
face poking out of this just mass of red curls. She's kind of thin and gaunt, hunched over from crawling through ducts and vents, and she hasn't been doing proper calisthenics for posture. And yeah, she just looks extremely hungry, I would say, probably.
yeah.
It just looks like she's been having 4 years of a bad time,
Yeah.
but wiry. She moves around a lot. I'd imagine that's what she looks like. She's probably wearing something equivalent to the clothes that she was wearing previously.
Yeah.
Unless she's had the ability to kind of steal
The
things from
modified-
lockers.
Oh, yeah. Every now and then, there's no question that
Yeah.
she dropped down for some shopping.
So she may actually be wearing like modified versions of facility clothing.
Yeah.
Oh, rad.
Got a name tag with the wrong name.
Yeah. She's wearing a name tag that says Donald.
Perfect.
And she's got a slightly wild look in her eye, which is understandable.
Yeah,
I think no one's gonna.
And it's a brand. It's a
Yeah.
real brand. But that insistent light, and you can even see it too, Timo. Now it's blaring out of these screens in the back.
Tamara says, we have to go.
Yeah, we have to go.
Are we different in any way? Like, have they been trimming anything, or are we just like,
Buck
wild,
yeah, they've been
whatever.
trimming,
They've been keeping it to a reasonable length, probably.
Yeah.
trimming and unfortunately baiting.
oh, that is unfortunate.
I was gonna say that's something that I would notice is that we all smell very much like that hospital soap.
That soap.
Unscented, but no, it's fucking.
No, there's a
nice.
scent.
Yeah,
There's a scent. That's
there's
a fucking lie.
There's a
Yeah.
floral funk about us.
Does Temo have a beard?
It's up to him.
Do they
Does
just like
Temo
decide
have
to
a
just
beard?
Does
trim
his
it?
dad have a beard? Is the question.
Probably not, actually.
No.
So I look at you because there's more things because I'm just sort of like scoping the room and I hit you first, and so I grab your hand like this and just sort of go. And then just don't let go and keep walking
Yeah,
away.
I would say that
Dirty mustache.
Dirty mustache.
Oh no.
Yes.
A little patchy, maybe.
Yeah. Patchy rain fog.
Yeah.
And I just sort of start softly humming and just walking along with you like a grandma. Kind
Just
of.
in the room.
I'm just a little bit of a stranger in paradise. I'm like,
So Temo, you remember like the last conscious memory you have of this room is one where at intervals the light changed from blue to red and back, and that red light is back. And then it shifts back to the blue.
I just say they're coming for us.
Seems bad.
I haven't found the way out yet. That's what I was finding when I found you.
Betty's got to be Betty.
Yeah.
Well, do you have an idea of what direction it would be at all?
We can. This is a new facility. I had maps of. I can hide us, but I don't know the way out. If we can get into the ducts, they haven't found me.
I don't know.
It's up. It's a ways up there.
I don't know if we'll. Yeah, I don't know if we have any way of getting out.
Yeah.
Let's just leave
Which
and
is
choose a direction.
yeah.
Temo's probably very large at this point.
Plump.
Physically large.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about
tall
Ginger
boy.
too. She was tall when she was
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
She's 18 now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a
She's
lot.
towering.
Is
a
everyone
lot.
able to move under their own steam?
Yes,
I'm carrying around my little thing. Just
I like the tree.
I stopped growing when I was 14.
Yeah,
I absolutely. If
Bring your
I've
size.
gained an inch, it's like incredible.
yeah,
yeah.
It's like now where my hair once was, my head is.
yeah. You just grown to meet it.
Exactly.
Temo's, obviously we're all very foggy.
Yeah,
But Temo says, come get us again.
Come get us again. We need to go now. I can't come get you
Love it.
again.
It's so good. You guys are so
You don't.
good
You
with that
can't.
fucking moment.
You can't sleep anymore. Okay.
And I
That's.
said, no, she said now.
Don't they already know that we're here? And I point. Aren't there cameras in this room?
If there are, you can't see them, but you're not dumb.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna point like anywhere. Don't they already know that you exist and they didn't before?
Are the needles still in the air?
No, they've flopped around and they're
okay.
cast down. So, it says you can sort of see the message going across the screens insistently, and then it sort of stops halfway, and you can see someone changing the font size
I love it.
until it's like a single letter per screen, and then it begins to scroll left, and it says, "We know everything. We're on our way. Get out." And then lights from the back of the room sort of blink in a succession from the back wall to the door.
Okay, we need to go. We just need to get out. Let's open the door, and Betty just opens the door and checks what's in the corridor outside.
You can hear heavy booted footfalls and shouted orders.
From which direction?
Both.
Okay, so I have a choice of 2 directions, and they both suck.
Yeah.
Are there any other?
The difference is that when you get to the door, the ceiling lights describe a path to the right.
Okay, let's go.
They
We need to
blink
go.
one at a time to the
Can
right.
I see any other rooms or anything? I want to see if we can get back into the ductwork, because that feels safe to Betty, whether or not it's reasonable. She doesn't want to be in these rooms.
Your familiarity with this facility is almost nil.
Yeah.
But we will definitely keep a lookout
Okay, so
for such a thing.
I'm going to try and usher people as best I can in the direction, like follow the lights, and trying to see if anyone needs help. I guess Snap is the only one who looks like she's having trouble walking. I might try and replace the stand with a Betty.
I like it.
And help you along.
Go underneath.
Yeah.
Become that support. I love
Or
it.
I just,
Right up.
Fireman
just
carry.
put Snap on my back.
Yeah. Carry Snap on your back.
Yeah, I mean,
I can
Well,
see
you
it.
could.
But Snap's gonna have things to say about it, but they're all good things. So
yeah, I mean, she's just kind of letting whatever happen. I mean, she still has.
I'm still holding on. I'm still holding on.
Not letting go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hand is out. And so you're holding her hand with your right hand.
Yeah.
So you're walking down the hallway, and you actually feel someone holding your left hand also. And the voice says, "I might have to borrow from your friends a little to get us out here. Do you think that would be okay?"
No, just me, please, just me.
Just a little.
No, just for me, just me.
I don't want to hurt you.
No, just me, just me.
He's saying this out loud.
Yeah.
That's so great.
But he goes, "No, we're all getting out of here. It's not just you."
Just me, just me.
When I pass by you as we leave the room, and you're telling us to go follow the lights, I'm going to stop and say to you, "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you."
I'm sorry it took so long.
This is the greatest movie of all time. Okay, so you are now going as fast as you can, like as fast as your bodies will allow and enable. You are not having the same difficulty that your friends are having. You feel, if anything, more confident than ever. Like, this is the person you dreamed you would be. You have what it takes to solve absolutely any problem. When your group, so there's a T intersection that you were sort of in the upper left-hand corner of, and the lights cast forward and then break in the middle and then are flung off to the right down some other corridor you can't see. As the group turns, there are 4 armed men in a position where 2 are kneeling, focusing at the mouth of this hallway, and 2 are over. And you see a series of minute, meaningful gestures from one of the men in front. And that is when the power takes hold of you. So what I need you to do is I need you to roll 8 dice.
Four.
You want the chunks?
I want all the chunks, please. Give me as many chunks as you can. Your finest chunks. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right. I'm going to do these in 2 installments. All right.
Dude, 2 installments of $5.95.
Oh no.
So yeah. So as it happens, you hear the verbal command to fire, and as the triggers are pulled, you hear a grotesque mechanical grinding sound, and the weapons explode. One by one, just in a chain, a constellation of explosions. The weapons themselves explode, and the men are flung to the side. But when you see this, at some level, you're conscious that you were the agent of it, but not fully. I would like you to check upset and scared.
That was there from before.
Yeah.
So do you want me to just do it
leave
clean?
it. Just leave it now. You're good.
Okay.
The entire group is flowing now down through this. There's more shouts, more incursions, but anytime the group reaches what is clearly a checkpoint, a pronounced checkpoint, as soon as this cascade of lights hits the sealed doors, it's like after 2 or 3 successive pushes from the ceiling lights, they're in concert in some way with the doors. It just laps against them. And eventually each of these sets goes from red to green. And it pushes out until you find yourselves in what looks like a tastefully appointed wood-paneled lobby. And just out the front of this, out the massive glass wall, where, sort of surrounded by tasteful screens and the sort of malevolent music one might hear in a elevator, you can see that a number of vans have pulled up to the front. You are being asked to be the conduit again. The voice says, "We're almost there. We're so close."
So are we stopped right now?
Right now, these vehicles are pulling up, and you are in the foyer.
And so I'm going to hold your hand, and as I'm holding your hand, I squeeze it again, and I go. And then
More grandma behavior?
Yes, and then I pat it along your side, here, keep it there. And then I walk forward a little bit, and I look at you all in turn and take moments, and I say, "It's my cue." And then as I turn around, I'm going to straighten up, and I'm getting ready. And then we're going to say that there are 2 doors that can open like this.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm going to go outside hello. And it's like the first time you've seen old Kimberly since.
It looks they're gonna be mechanical doors.
Yes.
That would slide. It can't be the physical kind, but it's gonna look like a psychic power if you walk up and throw your arms this way and they slide.
It's gonna look like that, and I'm just going to go like this, and there's tiny sparks somewhere.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And so I just walk out like this, "Hello, my public."
Exactly.
And that's what I'm.
So
that's where my arms are.
Because you have sustained such profound stressors, you are down to 6 dice for the second version of this.
Okay. I'm gonna do these in installments of 3. Everything's cool.
Jesus!
What do we got?
2 so far.
Just 2 is good.
Absolutely. she walks out in front, and there is obviously a pane of tall glass behind her from the door. But the two, and these are floor to ceiling, 40-foot tall glass panels, like shotgun blasts erupt from behind her as her arms raise and just shreds. You can hear the rubber of tires popping. You can see these vans sort of like rocked in place. And then the van that's on the right, like sort of tremulously finds its way like a bird first leaving the nest. It gently raises itself so softly, and then like a typewriter, a classic mechanical typewriter, just swings to the left. And every one of these vehicles is cast out. Behind them, you can see the more forbidding true gate of the facility. But it is not long. Only a few seconds pass before a white van, substantially reinforced at the fore, lays the gate itself low. And it is followed by other vehicles. Then there is a helicopter. And then there are words from a loudspeaker somewhere that are impossible to parse in the in this mad moment that was generated. And then so in the movie version of this is actually when the screen goes black. And instead of there being a voice, there's just a piece of white text that comes up over it in that tasteful way. Are you ready? It says, in 1991, a then unknown intelligence agency stormed the site of the ruined magnetocircular channel amplifier, known more commonly as the loop. Rumors swirled about a group of children held at the site who enabled the raid from inside the facility, but these rumors were never confirmed. The children were never seen or heard again. That is the AV Club quadrology. Quadtic, I guess, is the term. I hope that you have all enjoyed it. That is the coming of age story as rendered through certainly the decade that I grew up in. This is one of the best tables I have ever played for in my entire life, and I really, really appreciate the opportunity to tell this story with you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh my God.
My pleasure. It's my great pleasure.
That was fucked up.
Well,
I went to some dark places.
I think Harvey died. That fucks me right up.
But that juncture, like going from here to here, it has to have that edge. And the
Totally.
the coolest part is that there's actually a sequel to Tales from the Loop as a game. Mm-hmm. If you want to see what happened to the rest of the town, it seems like we could
Yes,
please.
it seems that we could just take the same characters and then just bump the story forward a little bit, and see what lingering effects or advantages these experiences have conferred.
That was incredible.
I'll be the only person who was 18 in the 90s.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Obviously, Club, thank you so much for supporting the work we do here at Penny Arcade. It is an absolute pleasure to provide these services for you. We'll see you next time.